There's a word from the Lord. There's a word from the Lord. And I really want you to receive it. Because it's going to change somebody here today. You need this. It's for you. It's for you. Our scripture lesson is taken from 2 Samuel chapter 9. Reverend Harris read verses 1 through 13. I'm going to read 7 verses. I'm reading from the New Living Translation, so it might be a little different. One day David asked, "Is anyone in Saul's family still alive? Anyone to whom I can show kindness for Jonathan's sake?" He summoned a man named Ziba, who had been one of Saul's servants. "Are you Ziba?" the king asked. "Yes, sir, I am," Ziba replied. The king then asked him, "Is anyone still alive from Saul's family? If so, I want to show God's kindness to them." Ziba replied, "Yes. One of Jonathan's sons is still alive. He is crippled in both feet." "Where is he?" the king asked. "In Lo Debar," Ziba told him, "at the home of Machir, son of A.M.E. So David sent for him and brought him from Machir's home. His name was Mephibosheth. He was Jonathan's son and Saul's grandson. When he came to David, he bowed low to the ground in deep respect. David said, "Greetings, Mephibosheth." Mephibosheth replied, "I am your servant." "Don't be afraid," David said. "I intend to show kindness to you because of my promise to your father Jonathan. I will give you all the property that once belonged to you, your grandfather Saul, and you will eat here with me at the king's table." The word of God. The word of God. "And you will eat here with me at the king's table." I'd like to preach this morning from the subject, "It's time to come out of Lo Debar." Turn to your neighbor and say, "Neighbor, it's time to come out of Lo Debar." Amen. I know some of you don't even think you're in there, but you're fine. But it's time to come out. Many people live in a state of loneliness. People who are by themselves, out of the mainstream of society, with no social activity or friendships outside of themselves. There are a great many others who live right in the middle of life's hustle and bustle that find themselves alone, dislocated and misunderstood, both physically and psychologically. People are and will be alone. From the orphan to the megastar surrounded by thousands, from the homeless to the struggling single mother, people are alone and forgotten. Lo Debar was such a place. The very means not having or no pastor. It was a town of forgotten people, including Mephibosheth, son of David's best friend Jonathan, who was the son of King Saul. In Lo Debar, we would find the lost. In Lo Debar, we find the unskilled. In Lo Debar, we find the uneducated, outcast from society. Those whom people would scorn, those that we would pass by and pay no attention. Those who would be just another statistic on a government report. We either live in Lodabar or we know somebody that lives in Lodabar. We walk around, drive around, and ignore the folks from Lodabar. My first point is that it's not your fault that you're in Lodabar. Mephibosheth was not in Lodabar because of something he had done wrong. We are told that he was crippled in both feet. 2 Samuel 4 tells us that Mephibosheth was under the care of a nurse while his father, Jonathan, was in battle. And when the word came that Jonathan and Saul were killed, the nurse grabbed Mephibosheth to run, but dropped him, thus injuring both of his feet for life. He was only about 5 years old when this happened, and then he had to spend his days being cared for by somebody else or living off the handouts of a few in a detestable, forgotten place called Lodabar. But it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault that his father died. It wasn't his fault that the nurse dropped him. It wasn't his fault that there was no doctor who could repair his situation. It wasn't his fault. And it's not your fault that you were molested as a child. It's not your fault that you were raped. It's not your fault that you were abused verbally or physically. It's not your fault that you had no father or mother. It's not your fault that you had to literally raise yourself. Not your fault. It's not your fault that no one ever gave you guidance or provided you with a good education, inspired you, poured life into you, built up some confidence in you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that they closed the business down or cut back on your job. It's not your fault that you have lived and now live in Lodabar. You know, we are always quick to assume that people who are in situations worse than our own have had to do something wrong to get that way. What they need is some brotherly kindness and sisterly affection. It's like that person who asks you, how you doing? And when you start to tell them about your troubles, they tune you out and walk away. They're concerned about how you feel or what you're going through because most people just don't care. But I heard Jesus say, come unto me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Wish I had somebody who knows that you can cast all your cares upon Jesus because he cares for you. Somebody who knows that Jesus is able to pick you up from where you are and set you high upon a solid rock. Wish I had somebody in this place that knows that if you trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding and always acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Lodabar doesn't inhabit just the poor. It's not always a physical place, because there are many people who are disenfranchised right in the city in the middle of upper class America. More than we might think, people are messed up. on the inside and looking like everything is all right on the surface. Somebody sitting next to you just might fit that mold. Have you ever asked your neighbor, are you all right today? Because you see, somebody might have been abused as a child or molested. Somebody might be battling homosexuality. Some might be battling drug addiction, alcohol addiction, adultery, acute depression, something that has affected the mind, something that causes them not to sleep at night, something that has crippled them from being who God intended them to be, something that keeps them miserable, unhappy, frustrated, always moody, full of anger, jealousy, something that has them living in a psychological prison that seems to have no way of escape. They can't talk about it because they're ashamed. They're embarrassed and worried that you might not understand and talk about them. The church is supposed to be a hospital where people can come to get fixed up and not beat up. Have you ever realized that you probably sat next to somebody that got beat up before they came to church? Somebody that's afraid of their own child when they go home. Somebody that can't even get over being abused as a child. You say, not the people I sit next to. I know them. You don't know what you want. You know what you want to know. But you don't know that the church is full of people from Lo Debar. People are afraid to come up out of Lo Debar and afraid to ask for some help. People are worried that they will get put down, talked about, and insulted. And fear more than anything else keeps us down. Hallelujah. But King David says, don't be afraid. Hallelujah. You see, in those days, it was customary and necessary that when one king was overthrown, his entire family was killed off to keep from a future uprising occurring. Mephibosheth had been hiding out for who knows how long, and he was discovered, and he thought, well, this is my time to die. But to his dismay, he was being offered a place at the king's table. A new home, a new land, a new life. Mephibosheth's reply to the king's offer was just as most of us. He said, I'm nothing. I come from nothing. At least that's what he thought. They had been telling him all his life, I will never amount to anything. I'm crippled. I can't work. I can't even take care of myself, let alone somebody else. Nobody has ever cared about me. Most people don't even know I exist. David, why do you want to do anything for somebody like me? I'm just a dog. But what we need to know today is that the King Jesus, wants to bring everybody up out of Lo Debar and have us eating at his table. Isn't that good news? He wants to heal the broken, lift up the downtrodden, set free the addict, give hope to the hopeless, give joy to the joyless, give life to the lifeless, elevate the depressed, build up the one with no confidence, open up doors for the jobless. He wants everybody to come up out of whatever is holding them down and walk in the newness of life that they can only come through him. So he says, come. Come with all of your dysfunctions. Come. Come with all your disabilities. Come. Come with all your inadequacies. Come. Come with all your heartaches. Come. Come with all your burdens. Come. Come with all your pains, and I will bear them all. Don't you know that in Gilead that can soothe your hurting soul. Fights pain better than Tylenol. His name is Jesus, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He wants to restore you the years that the locusts have eaten. He will enable you to go into the enemy's camp, take back what the devil has stolen from you. He has made a way for you. And if you're willing to accept what Christ has already done, can I get a witness? Hallelujah. He was wounded for our transgression. He was bruised for our iniquity. The chastisement of his peace was upon him. And with his stripes, we are healed. I'll stop by this one to tell somebody that God wants you to come out of Lo Debar. He wants you to come out of your depression. He wants you to come out of your grief. He wants you to come up out of your despair. He wants you to come out of that dark place that the devil keeps holding on. He wants you to come into the marvelous light. Hallelujah. God wants you to come up out of Lo Debar. Hallelujah. He got a place for you at the King's table. He walks with me. He talks with me. And he tells me I am his own. And the voice I hear. Hallelujah. Can I get a witness? Anybody want to come out? Hallelujah. God sent me here today to tell you to come out. Come out. Come out of your grief. You've been grieving too long. Come out of your depression. You've been depressed too long. Come out of your sickness. You've been sick too long. Come out of your tiredness. You've been sick and tired too long. Come on up out of there. The King has a place at his table for you. He wants to restore everything that the devil has taken. Can I get a witness? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. He wants to restore you. Hallelujah. I'm preaching to somebody today. Everybody